Welcome, everyone. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior. It is February the 10th, 2025, episode. Huey, do you know what episode it is? 253. Can you count that high on your fingers and toes? 253. Yeah, that's 253 episodes. Wow. So anyway, welcome, and we do appreciate you being here and being here for the next hour and a half. We have a great show for you, but just to remind everybody that we also have a show on Thursday. And it's our Thursday show. So be sure if you haven't joined us, be sure and drop by and see us on Thursday. But it's not an in-house meeting. It's not a Zoom meeting. It's we broadcast out in StreamYard. We go to Facebook, YouTube, and maybe Instagram. So if anyone's an Instagram follower, have you seen the show? We have great interest in seeing if our broadcast is going through. Anyway, so we're hopefully anyway, that's on our Thursday show. Today, I just wanted to remind everyone at half past the hour, our premiere video today, Ray Baxter is going to talk on capturing screen videos. I'm going to talk on mastering the Chrome's bookmark bar. That's a good one. And Bob's going to talk on bathing your computer with antivirus soap, like washing your mouth out with soap, right, Bob?
Something
Anyway,
like that. Yeah.
something like that. So those are your three selections today, and that will be on at half past the hour. As usual, we want to thank, as we're wrapping up our fundraising, as I mentioned before, I want to thank a couple of more people who donated. Sue Gregg and John Barrett. Thank you again for your donations. Thank you a lot. And we will probably get more donations through the year as we go through. So we're looking good. And season 3 is coming up in March, and we have a lot of surprises for you. Some new things happening, and I think you'll be excited about that. Huey, how did your weekend? You were busy. You were sort of doing stuff in your with your
The
um
community.
yeah, the
Yeah.
community. You're busy this weekend.
Yeah. We're the group that runs our community is the Fraternal Order of Eagles, and they have a board of directors for our retirement community. And they came and visited us as well as all of the other national and international officers, and we held a breakfast for them and so on. So, and then we met with them afterwards. And we get to do that once a year, and it's always on Super Bowl Sunday, which is
Right.
also the second Sunday of the month, which is always the WinSig meeting. Well, last year, I
So
believe, I
yeah.
turned it over. I think Drew and Mike Ungerman did it last year, but I decided just to postpone it. So this Sunday will be the WinSig instead of normally it would have been this past Sunday.
Okay. Great. Super. And of course, Bob, is it snowing there or is it warming up? What's happening in your neck of the woods?
What snow?
That's not,
We had a very early snow. That was the biggest snow we had, and it was about 1/8 of an inch, and everything closed down. So take it for what it's worth.
Oh, the other video I should have showed. I showed a video before we set up the network, but I think it snowed in Texas, and there was a cute little clip this morning on a video, and it was all the animals coming out in Texas at one of the zoos, having fun in the snow, and they had elephants and how they responded to snow. It was really a cute video. And Bill James, you're all going to tell us all about new computer hardware today.
Yes,
You're going to confuse us. In other words, you're going to confuse us today, aren't you?
I am. That's my intent.
All
I have
right.
lots of questions.
Well, we should remind everyone there is a Q&A today, so stick around and ask Bill questions, all right? And Jim, you are, of course, missing Chris, but Chris is at Physio, and you are
Right.
getting ready to get on your ship and sail around the world.
Yeah, Chris is where she is. She's gone to physical therapy today. She's driving herself for the first time. So that should be fun. Yeah, and this is the ship we'll be on in not too
Yeah,
long.
yeah, yeah. It's all good. Let's get the show going early today. Bob, are you ready to take it away?
I hope so. Here's my Tech Talk and Beyond for the week ending February 7th, 2025. This week's topic, Cyber Chaos and AI Survivors, a beginner's guide to not getting hacked. A beginner's guide to not getting hacked. Hey there, Internet Explorers. Ever feel like the digital world is a bit like the Wild West? But instead of cowboys and horses, it's hackers and viruses. Yeah, me too. The good news is you don't need to be a tech genius to understand what's going on and how to protect yourself. Today, we're talking about the latest cybersecurity threats and how AI is stepping up to play the hero, mostly. The usual suspects, the cyber bad guys. Let's be real, the internet can be a scary place. Think of it like a crowded mall, but instead of annoying sales associates, you've got digital pickpockets trying to steal your data. Here are some of the usual suspects lurking in the shadows. Ransomware, the digital hostage takers. Imagine your computer's files being kidnapped and held for ransom. That's basically ransomware. These digital thugs encrypt your stuff and demand payment to get it back. And they're getting extra sneaky, sometimes stealing your data before locking you out, threatening to leak it online. It's like they've gone double dipping into the crime buffet. Supply chain shenanigans, the friend of a friend attack. This one's like a bad game of telephone. Hackers go after third-party vendors, the companies that provide services to other companies. Once they're in, they can spread like a bad rumor, infecting multiple businesses. It's the cyber equivalent of guilt by association. Phishing follies, the bait and switch. Think of phishing as the online equivalent of that suspicious guy selling Rolex watches in a dark alley. They send fake emails or texts that look legit, trying to trick you into giving up your passwords or installing nasty malware. Remember the golden rule, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is, especially if it involves a Nigerian prince needing your help. Zero-day drama, the sneaky surprise attack. These are like surprise attacks using previously undiscovered flaws in software. No one knows about them, not even the developers. It's like getting hit with a digital Nerf dart you didn't even know existed. AI-powered attacks, the cyber brainiacs. Here's where it gets a bit sci-fi. Bad actors are now using AI to automate attacks, craft incredibly convincing fake messages, and even bypass security systems. It's like they're leveling up their game by giving themselves supervillain upgrades. Cloud flashes, the high-altitude heist. Cloud services are like giant treasure chests in the sky. Hackers are targeting them with increasing frequency, trying to steal sensitive data by exploiting vulnerabilities in cloud infrastructure. It's like a high-stakes digital sky heist. Cryptojacking, the digital energy vampires. This is when bad actors use your computer to mine cryptocurrency without your knowledge, slowing down your system and racking up your energy bill. They're basically freeloaders leeching off your resources, like that one house guest who never does the dishes. Enter the AI superheroes, how AI is fighting back. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about the good guys, the AI heroes. They're using their impressive skills to protect us. Threat detection, spotting the bad guys. AI is like a superpowered security guard. It can analyze tons of data to spot suspicious activities, like unusual logins or strange network traffic that might indicate a cyber attack. Think of it as your digital snitch, but way more helpful. Vulnerability management, patching up the holes. AI can quickly scan your system for vulnerabilities and prioritize the ones that are most likely to be exploited. It's like having a super efficient repair crew that fixes the leaks in your digital castle before they cause real damage. Incident response, cleaning up the mess. If a breach does happen, AI can analyze the situation, find out what went wrong, and automate containment and remediation efforts. It's like your own CSI team, but for cybercrime. Enhanced security, making life harder for hackers. AI is helping to create stronger login systems, like biometric authentication, and can even adapt security measures based on your behavior. It's like having a smart security system that can recognize when someone's trying to break in. Countering AI-powered attacks. Fighting fire with fire. To combat bad AI, we're developing good AI. It can detect and defend against attacks that are specifically designed to fool other AI systems. It's a digital game of chess, but way more complicated and a little bit scary. How can you benefit, even if you're not a tech wizard? Okay, so you're probably thinking, this all sounds very technical. What can I do? Here's the good news. You don't need to be a programmer to benefit from AI security. Here's what you should remember. Use strong passwords. Think of passwords as the lock on your digital front door. Make them long, complex, and unique. Don't use password 123. That's like leaving your front door open and inviting bad guys in. Password managers can help. Be cautious of suspicious emails and links. If an email looks fishy, it probably is. Always double-check the sender, look for typos, and never click links from unknown senders. Keep your software updated. It might be annoying, but those software updates often contain vital security patches. Don't skip them. Use antivirus software. It's like having a bodyguard for your computer, protecting it from malware. Make sure your software is up to date and run scans regularly. Enable multi-factor authentication. It adds an extra layer of security, like having 2 locks on your door. Even if the hacker gets your password, they'll still need a code from your phone to get in. Be mindful of what you share online. Don't overshare personal information on social media, as this can give hackers valuable clues for targeted attacks. Final thoughts and a little humor. Cybersecurity can seem daunting, but remember, you don't have to go it alone. AI is working hard behind the scenes to protect us. It's like having an army of digital superheroes defending us from cyber villains. And hey, don't feel bad if you occasionally get a dodgy looking email. We've all been there. Just remember these tips, stay vigilant, and maybe even laugh a little along the way. It's the digital world, after all. Sometimes all you can do is laugh or reboot your computer. Stay safe, stay secure out there, folks. And may your internet adventures be filled with knowledge and virus-free. Did you know? After the 1982 film E.T., the extraterrestrial featured Reese's Pieces, prominently as a treat loved by E.T. The sales of the candy spiked around 300%. 2004 was the last year that hidden or pop-up headlamps appeared on a mass-produced automobile, when the last two holdouts, the Lotus Esprit and the C5 Corvette, ended production. Despite what cartoons have taught us, the Coyote can run up to 43 miles per hour, while the Roadrunner can only run up to 20 miles per hour. There are an estimated 3 million shipwrecks around the world, some dating back to thousands of years ago. Just thought you might like to know. I'd rather attempt to do something great and fail than to attempt to do nothing and succeed. Thanks to Robert H. Schuller. And that's a wrap for this week's Tech Talk and Beyond. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
Thanks, Bob. That's good information. I was just looking online, and we should go in business. I can get a skimmer for $100 Canadian, or about $70 US, and we just need someone with a printer, and we can make up some skimmers, and we can make some money.
No, not interested. Thanks.
Not interested?
Nope.
All right. All right. Anyway, let's move on. And I have something for everyone today. Let's have a look and see what it is. Have you ever been frustrated that you just can't find that information on YouTube? You know you've seen a video, you know it's out there, but you can't get back to that information. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we help seniors understand the complexity of YouTube. Today in this video, I want to talk a little bit about searching YouTube and finding information. As an administrator of a large channel, I often get asked by viewers, how do I find the video that was produced last week? Or how do I find so-and-so's video clip that was in last week's show? Well, I've done a number of videos about this, and I thought I would tackle that from a different perspective today. I'm going to take you through the creator's journey, how we actually produce videos, upload them, and how we make it easy for you to find information. I think if you look at it from a different side, that you might find this easier to understand. So let's give it a try today and see if this explains things and makes it a bit easier for you. So what I've done today is I've created a demo video that we're going to upload, and we're going to go through the process of making this video searchable. So let's see how we do this. So as you see, the background, I'm in what we call our YouTube studio. And this is software produced by YouTube. But if you look up here on the right, you'll see a little button called Create. You see where I'm hovering over here, and you'll see that it says Create. So if you have a Google account, you too can join YouTube and upload videos. You just have to apply for that. It's free of charge. If you have a Google account, you can do that, and you too can go through this process I'm going to show you today. Now, you'll see it says Create. So you won't see this button unless you have a YouTube account. But if you do, then this button will be available wherever you are in YouTube. Now, I'm in my Creator Studio right now, but I could just be watching a YouTube video, and you will see this button here. So this button is available no matter where you are as Create. So let's hit Create, and I'm going to go to Upload Video. And that brings up this view here. And now I'm going to select the video that I've created for you, and I'm going to upload this video. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to select a file, and I'm going to come up here, and here's the video that I've made for our demonstration purposes. Now I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to hit open, and then we're going to upload the video. I want you to pay attention to two things. First of all, how fast it uploads. This is not a huge file, but it does upload very quickly, but I do have a 1 gigabit connection for my internet, so it goes fairly fast. But in the background, it's going to start to process it. And YouTube takes this video and processes the video. We're going to talk a little bit about what that actually means. So watch, I'm going to open now, and it's going to quickly select that, and now it's already uploaded the video. And at the bottom here, you'll say upload complete, processing will begin shortly. So what actually happens now as this video is being processed by YouTube? Very interesting. You'll see it start to being processed now. What happens is that it takes the video and transcribed it. Yes, it takes the whole video, all the audio on there, and it creates a printed transcription. That's pretty cool. So yes, it's all the videos on YouTube are transcribed. Now, why would they do that? Well, first of all, it makes it very easy to search. And they have to search and make sure your video meets community guidelines. So if you're putting things up there or saying hate speech or things that shouldn't be there, it's very easy to detect that, and your video, of course, wouldn't be published. So before it actually is published, it has to go through a series of checks to make sure that you meet community guidelines. But the transcript is also available for you, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. Now, the processing that YouTube does often takes a number of minutes to do. If you're uploading a video in 4K, it can take quite a bit of time. So we're going to let that work in the background, and we're going to come back to it. But I want you to remember that, yes, all videos are transcribed, because we're going to do some interesting things with that in a moment. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave this and let it process in the background. So we're just going to close out of here. So what I'm showing you now is a video that I produced for our Monday show on January the 20th. And in the description here, you will see as we come down, you'll see that I have chapters. And these chapters are time-stamped along with the presenters sections in the Monday show. Now, what exactly does that mean? When you click on these links, it will take you exactly where you want to go in the show. So I've actually made these links and inserted those, and I've been doing this now since chapters came out about 4 years ago. All our Monday shows have chapters inserted in there, and if you look in the description, you just click on the section you want and it will take you right there. You can also draw your mouse across the line in the video and it will show you where the chapters are as well. I'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, I have made these and I add them. Now for creators can actually make the chapters in the software they use to create the videos. In Camtasia, the software I use to create these videos, there's an option so that I can actually insert the chapters prior to uploading the video. There's also other third-party softwares such as TubeBuddy that can add the chapters in after the video is uploaded. And in fact, I find it easier in my workflow, and I just use TubeBuddy to add the chapters after the video is uploaded to YouTube. But I want you to watch now as I come down in the sequence here. These are all items that you can tick and check off for your video. And as we come down here, I want to just show you, there's an item here for automatic chapters. And this normally is ticked on. That's the default situation. So if I don't make chapters in the video, YouTube automatically makes them. Now, it doesn't actually show up in the description, but it will in a Google search. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So what happens is that if you don't turn this off like this, then you will find that it will actually automatically make those chapters for you. and those show up in a YouTube search. All right, let's go over from our YouTube studio into our YouTube video. This is so we'll take this and let's go over here and we'll actually see this is the video as you would see it on YouTube. Now, the first thing I want to draw your attention to is if we come down here, you'll see these are all the chapters that I have made. And you'll also see that if you click on this, let's see if we want to have a look at new features of an old app by Huey. We'll just click this and it takes you right to Huey and his presentation. The other thing you should look at is if you look at the red line on the bottom here, you'll see this is how far you played. But if I bring my mouse and I come across here, you'll see all the chapters that are there. You can see as we've made these chapters, you can see them, and it will as well, you can see where they are. And again, if you just click on them, it'll take you right there. So if you wanted to come back and you're going along here, new features of an old app, we can come down to the beginning, just click this, and this will be will take you right to Huey's presentation. All right, what I want to show you now is let's do a Google search on a problem. I've asked Google how to change the font size in Camtasia. That, of course, is one of the video editing programs I use. So when we search this, we will come up with, first of all, with the new search that is in Google, it comes up with an AI overview. So it gives me some information here. On the right-hand side, it gives me a video that I can watch about the editing. But as it comes down here, there's another video which actually has the chapter outlined for me, how to make fonts bigger. And if you look down here, it starts at 0:17 for the part of the video that I want. So in summary, what the Google search will do is it will actually choose the chapter or the part of the video based on your search. It even gets better. So when you are doing a Google search, you will often see references made to YouTube videos. And how they can do this is by the transcription originally of that information. Now, let me go back and talk a bit about that now. All right, I want to come back and look at our video, episode 250 again. And let's say that this is a long video and that I had not put chapters in. You didn't know really what the video was about and you wanted to quickly summarize this 1 hour video. Man, it's a pretty long video. So remember what I said, that all the videos have been transcribed. In other words, there is a text version of this and you can access it. Now I use a program called YouTube Summary. Now, YouTube Summary, I've done actually a video about this. I use it every day. It's simply an extension. I'll put the link down below in the description. Watch what happens now when we're looking at this video. Let's say it's a video you're not sure what it's about. Maybe you think you might know something about it, or maybe you think you might want to watch the video, or maybe it's a long video and you just want to know the plot, so to speak. So we're going to come up and we're going to click this button here, which is going to activate YouTube Summary, and watch what happens. It's now going to take it and it's going to put it into ChatGPT. It's going to take the highlights, timestamp them for us, and it's going to go through and it's going to create its own timestamps and summarize the whole video for you. Here it is, it's going through the whole video. And it's going to summarize this, and it's going to put timestamps in it for you. So it will actually do this for you, and then you can actually use these to find specific parts of the video you want to go to. Now, here's a pro tip for you. For all those creators who are producing videos, I use this all the time on my own videos to create a description. So all you have to do now is type in the ChatGPT prompt. Let me just type in summarize for a YouTube description and hit enter. And now it's going to summarize and now it's going to create a summary that's perfect for a YouTube description. That saves me a lot of time. So I use YouTube summary every day because as I'm going through a lot of videos looking for specific content, I often don't want to listen to the whole video. I can use this to instantly, in seconds, summarize the video and get the information out I want. You can save it, keep it, do whatever you want with it. Very useful tool. But remember, all the information on every single video is now always in text, and you have access to that. So hopefully the suggestions today will help searching for YouTube videos. But in summary, the most incredible thing happened a couple of weeks ago, and I just have to tell you this because it blew me away. I had no idea this was possible. Now, we've talked a lot about AI recently. In fact, I have a whole series about learning AI if you're over the age of 50, and I'll put that in the link below and for the playlist, and you can watch the videos for that. But the interesting thing is 2 weeks ago, Bill James gave a talk on our Monday show. It was about the Windows 11 24H2 update. Now, this was very popular. Now, what I did on Tuesday afternoon was I cut the section out, edited it, and made a video to be uploaded because I wanted to use it for educational purposes. So I created the video of Bill's presentation and uploaded it Tuesday, probably later on Tuesday, as a standalone video. Immediately, it was well received and has had over 1,100 views. But on Wednesday morning when I woke up, I got a comment about the video. And the comment was, you can see this on the screen, the comment said, ChatGPT suggested this video for me. Now that blew me away because let's think about it. Remember, this isn't Gemini, which is Google. This is ChatGPT. So within 12 hours, ChatGPT had indexed the information on that video. So when someone put a search into ChatGPT, they recommended Bill's video. Unbelievable. Within 12 hours. Blew me away. Incredible. Now you can see how the information is searched when you're looking for information on YouTube. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you want to keep informed about further videos we make, please click that like and subscribe. Okay, all righty. Hopefully that was helpful. Bill James, are you around?
I am
I hope you are ready to go.
ready to go. Let's see, can we make this ship float?
Hopefully.
What's up, everyone? It's Bill James, Tech for Senior, back with another video. And today we're diving into the world of artificial intelligence computer processing units, or AI CPUs. Now, you might be thinking, AI CPUs, what's the big deal? Well, trust me, this is huge. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how our computers work, moving away from traditional processors to ones specifically designed to handle the demands of artificial intelligence. Think about all the AI-powered features we use every day, from voice assistants to image recognition. These tasks require a ton of processing power. That's where AI CPUs come in. They're built from the ground up to accelerate AI workloads, making everything faster, smoother, and more efficient. And the best part, this technology is already here, and it's evolving at an incredible pace. In this video, we'll be exploring some of the most cutting-edge AI CPUs on the market, from Intel and AMD to specialized companies like Cerebras and Graphcore. We'll break down how these chips work, what makes them unique, and the impact they're having on everything from gaming to scientific research. So buckle up, because things are about to get interesting. First up, let's talk Intel. They've been a dominant force in the CPU world for decades, and they're not slowing down when it comes to AI. Their latest Core Ultra processors integrate AI into mainstream computing. These chips make everyday tasks faster and smoother, from video editing to browsing the web. Built-in AI handles noise suppression and real-time image upscaling. Even predictive text is more helpful. It's not just about performance. Intel focuses on security with hardware-level protections. Optimized for popular AI software, creatives can push boundaries. Intel brings AI to the masses, integrating it into everyday devices. Enjoy a smoother, more secure computing experience. Run AI-powered apps effortlessly. Intel is making AI accessible to everyone. Now you might be thinking, what about the competition? Well, don't worry, we're just getting started. Next up, we've got AMD, and they're coming in hot with their Ryzen AI processors. Specifically, let's talk about the Ryzen AI Pro 300 series. This is AMD's first foray into dedicated AI hardware within their processors, and they're making a statement. AMD claims these chips deliver a 3 times performance boost in AI tasks compared to the previous generation. Now, those are some bold claims, but if AMD can deliver, it could be a game changer. They're focusing on delivering efficient AI performance, which is crucial for laptops where battery life is key, but it's not just about performance. AMD is also baking in their pro technologies, which focus on security and IT management. This means businesses can deploy these processors with confidence, knowing that their data is protected and their systems are easy to manage. The Ryzen AI Pro 300 series is a clear indication that AMD is serious about AI. They're not just trying to catch up to Intel, they're aiming to surpass them. This competition is great news for consumers because it means we'll see more innovation and faster progress in the AI CPU space. It's like the early days of the smartphone market all over again, and I, for one, am excited to see where it goes. Now let's shift gears and talk about NVIDIA, a company that needs no introduction when it comes to graphical processing units or GPUs. But they're not just about gaming anymore. Their GB10 Grace Blackwell AI superchip is a testament to their commitment to bringing AI acceleration to a wider audience. This chip is part of NVIDIA's Project Digits, an ambitious initiative to make AI more accessible to researchers, developers, and businesses of all sizes. We're talking about a level of AI performance that was previously only available in massive data centers, now packed into a chip that can fit inside your desktop PC. The GB10 is designed to handle a wide range of AI workloads, from training deep learning models to running AI-powered applications. This opens up a world of possibilities for gamers, content creators, and anyone who wants to explore the cutting edge of AI. Imagine playing games with incredibly realistic graphics powered by AI, or editing videos with AI-assisted tools that automate tedious tasks. The GB10 has the potential to revolutionize how we interact with our computers, making them smarter, faster, and more intuitive. What's really exciting about the GB10 is that it's just the tip of the iceberg. NVIDIA is constantly pushing the boundaries of AI hardware, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Now, if you thought the GB10 was impressive, hold on to your hats because things are about to get really wild. Let's talk about the Cerebra's wafer scale engine, the world's largest AI chip with 850,000 cores. Most CPUs have around 8 to 16 cores, and even high-end graphical processing units, or GPUs, top out at a few thousand. The wafer scale engine is on another level entirely. It can tackle AI workloads that were previously impossible. Training massive deep learning models in hours instead of days. This has huge implications for fields like drug discovery and climate modeling. The wafer scale engine is a game changer for scientific discovery. Of course, a chip this powerful comes with a hefty price tag, and it's not exactly something you'd find in your average desktop PC. The wafer scale engine is designed for massive data centers and supercomputing facilities. Next up, let's talk about GraphCore and their Intelligence Processing Unit, or IPU. Now, GraphCore, a UK-based chip manufacturer, might not be as well known as some of the other players in the AI chip game, but they're doing some really interesting things. The Intelligence Processing Unit, or IPU, is designed from the ground up to accelerate machine learning tasks with a unique architecture that's optimized for the way AI algorithms work. We're talking about 1,472 cores that are specifically designed to handle the parallel processing demands of AI workloads. One of the key features of the IPU is its high efficiency. It's built using TSMC's 7-nanometer technology, which means it can pack a lot of processing power into a relatively small space while consuming less power. This is crucial for data centers where energy consumption is a major concern. GraphCore is targeting a wide range of AI applications with the IPU, from natural language processing and computer vision to robotics and autonomous vehicles. They're partnering with companies and research institutions around the world, such as Bosch, Dell Technologies, and Samsung, to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI. The IPU is a prime example of how the AI chip landscape is evolving beyond traditional CPUs and GPUs. We're seeing a new breed of specialized processors that are designed to meet the unique demands of AI workloads. So we've covered a lot of ground here, from Intel and AMD's mainstream AI offerings to specialized chips from NVIDIA, Cerebras, and GraphCore. It's clear that the AI chip landscape is evolving rapidly, with each company taking a different approach to solving the challenges of AI acceleration. One of the biggest trends we're seeing is the growing integration of AI-focused CPU, GPU capabilities. Traditional CPUs are being redesigned with dedicated AI cores, while GPUs, already adept at parallel processing, are being further optimized for machine learning tasks. This convergence of CPU and GPU technologies is blurring the lines between these once distinct categories. We're moving towards a future where the lines between CPU, GPU, and dedicated AI processors become increasingly blurred. In the coming years, we can expect to see even more dramatic advancements in AI acceleration. Chips will become smaller, faster, and more power efficient, enabling AI to be integrated into an even wider range of devices, from tiny sensors to powerful servers. These innovations will have a profound impact on our lives, transforming industries, revolutionizing how we work and play, and unlocking new possibilities that we can only begin to imagine today. As we've seen, the world of AI CPUs is evolving at an incredible pace, and we're just at the beginning of this exciting journey. Companies like Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, Cerebras, and GraphCore are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, bringing AI acceleration to everything from our laptops and desktops to massive data centers and supercomputers. These advancements will have a profound impact on our lives, transforming industries, revolutionizing how we work and play, and unlocking new possibilities that we can only begin to imagine today. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how our computers work, moving away from traditional processors to ones specifically designed to handle the demands of artificial intelligence. But this isn't just about the technology itself, it's about what we do with it. AI has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest challenges, from climate change to disease, but it also raises important ethical considerations that we need to address. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed about the latest developments in AI, to engage in thoughtful discussions about its implications, and to work together to ensure that it's used for good. So that's a wrap on our exploration of AI CPUs. As you can see, this is a rapidly evolving field with the potential to revolutionize computing as we know it. From mainstream laptops and desktops to specialized chips powering scientific breakthroughs, AI is becoming an increasingly integral part of our technological landscape. If you're as fascinated by this as I am, ask your questions during our question and answer session at the end of this meeting, or post your questions in the chat. What AI-powered devices or applications are you most excited about? What questions do you have about the future of AI CPUs? Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching.
Bill, I like the accent. I love the accent. All right, there probably be I got lots of questions about that actually, but we're gonna wait until our Q&A is for the Q&A. Let's see what we have next. Okay. Your 6-year-old boy has a fever and a rash. You ask ChatGPT what the current dose of aspirin would be for a 40-pound child. 3 weeks later, after being in an intensive care unit with a very sick boy, you wish you had got more information from a healthcare provider than relying on ChatGPT. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos to help seniors understand AI. This is a 10-part series that I'm making on understanding AI in the over 50 age group. Episode 1 was, of course, setting up Microsoft Copilot, Gemini, and ChatGPT. Episode 2 was understanding prompts. This is episode 3, and I'll put the links down below to those prior videos and to the playlist that will have the whole series on it. But this is episode 3, and why you should not ask, or you should be very careful if you ask AI for medical advice. So this is an episode I'm so excited to make because I was a medical doctor for 30 years. Yes, and I got to dust off my old lab coat now and to put my MD coat on and give some advice on AI and medical information. So let me tell you about a little trick that healthcare providers learn very early on in their career. If I had a new patient come to my office and I saw them in the waiting room, I would observe them. I would watch them coming down to my office. I would watch them come into the office and sit down in front of me. I could see them. I could see what clothes they wore. I could see their eye contact, how they smelled, what their age was. I most likely could diagnose the problem before they even started the conversation. This is very difficult to do if you are a bot and to try and get that information if you aren't there in person. Now, the advice I'm going to give you today is if you have a health problem, my advice is to get advice from a healthcare provider. We are not there yet, folks. We aren't there yet where you can just talk to AI and it's going to diagnose a medical problem. Even worse is if it gives you advice, this advice is often wrong based on a number of factors which we're going to discuss today. Please, if you are sick, get advice from a healthcare professional. All right, what is AI in healthcare? Well, of course, we use AI to analyze data. So AI systems can analyze medical data, they can predict outcomes, and support clinical decisions. Common examples are the information that you get when you use chatbots. But chatbots get their information from basically the internet. And although they try to analyze symptoms and actually have some diagnostic tools, the results are often very different depending on what circumstances you're using them in. In the first example I gave you today, that was Reye's syndrome. You certainly wouldn't want to use aspirin in a child with a fever and a rash because you're worried about a combination of aspirin and chickenpox, which can give you a very fatal condition called Reye's syndrome. You should know that before giving advice, and I'm sure a healthcare professional would. And always remember that AI is not a doctor. AI lacks human intuition and clinical experience, as I said when I watched patients walk down the hall. It cannot consider unique patient context and emotions. It relies on data quality and may not accurately account for the rare or nuances in each case. So we have to be very careful with the information that we get when using AI. Now, the risks of asking AI for medical advice are the dangers of misuse. Now, it may be limited by the quality of the training data. It may not represent diverse populations. There's a lot of people around the world asking it, and the data may be different depending on what country you're in and certainly what population subset that you're looking at. And there's no standard oversight in any of the AI tools that we have. They're made up by all sorts of different bots and different companies that have the software. And the absolute worst thing that could happen is a common situation now with AI, and it's called ghosting. And what happens is, of course, if it doesn't know the answer, it makes it up. So that is another huge problem and it's often not easily identifiable. Now, the other thing that comes in are ethical considerations about trust, privacy, and accountability. You're often putting information into the system. Remember, it's all going into the cloud, and you're sharing sensitive data with AI systems that have no respect of your privacy. So who's responsible for errors or potential misuse of AI-generated advice? Where is the liability? Let's talk about real-life consequences. When AI advice goes wrong, who's responsible? In the first case I gave you about AI-led advice that harmed patients, in other words, that young child could have died, we need to talk about the psychological impact on the families that did put their faith in AI and got bad critical health decisions. So the right way to use AI in healthcare is to use AI as a tool and not a replacement for good medical advice. Use AI for education and support, not final decisions, although you still have to remember that the information from AI is gleaned largely from the internet. And if you had, let's take example of vaccinations, you probably would find a huge body of information about vaccinations on the internet, compared to a very small amount of medical data that is actually peer-reviewed by healthcare providers. There's a big discrepancy there, but AI doesn't really have a way of dealing with that. So the information that you get on vaccinations may be very jaundiced or very biased in one way or another. So you have to be extremely careful. Always contact a qualified health care professional for proper diagnosis and treatment. So in conclusion, we have to look at responsive use of AI in medicine. AI has potential, but must be used cautiously. Your health deserves expert care, not just algorithms. Always prioritize human expertise for medical advice. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully this has given you some help in trying to deal with that difficult decision on how to use AI for medical information. All right, some information there. Probably have some questions in Q&A. We will get now. Ray's not here, but he did send some music for us, so I'm going to play that for you.
Paul Pliszka, Stop the YouTube.
An operatic journey. Paul Pliszka was born in Old Forge, Pennsylvania on August 28, 1941, into a family of Ukrainian descent. From a young age, he displayed a prodigious talent for music, nurtured by his parents who recognized his potential. Pliszka's early education in music began with piano lessons, but it was his powerful bass voice that would eventually define his career. Pliszka's formal musical education took place at the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York, where he studied voice under the guidance of teachers who honed his natural abilities. His professional debut came in 1967 when he performed with the New York City Opera. His rich, resonant bass voice quickly garnered attention, and he soon became a sought-after performer in operatic circles. Pliszka's debut at the Met was in 1967 as Monterone in Verdi's Rigoletto. This performance marked the beginning of a long and illustrious association with the Met, where he would perform for over 45 years. His versatility and skill allowed him to master a wide range of roles, from comedic to dramatic, in operas by composers such as Mozart, Verdi, Puccini, and Wagner. Paul Pliszka's artistry was recognized in 1992 when he received the Pennsylvania Governor's Award for Excellence in the Arts, and when several years earlier he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for Great American Opera Singers in a celebration at the Academy of Vocal Arts in Philadelphia. Paul Pliszka officially retired from the Metropolitan Opera in 2012, capping off a career that included nearly 1,600 performances in more than 80 roles. His contributions to opera have been recognized with numerous awards and honors, including the Richard Tucker Award and the Opera News Award. Pliszka died on February 3, 2025, at the age of 83. Today's clip is from a Met performance in 1982 with opera superstar Joan Sutherland, celebrating her 20 years, where she performed the role of Lucia at the Metropolitan Opera.
Just before we get on with that clip, I'm going to say goodbye to our YouTube fans and stop the video. Thank you for coming. And if you want to pop over and participate in our Q&A, we're certainly welcome to do so. Don't forget our Thursday show, and don't forget our premiere video that will be starting in half the hour. Ray's going to talk on capturing screen videos. I'm going to talk about mastering the bookmark bar. And of course, Bob's going to talk about having a not having a bath, bathing your computer in antivirus soap. Good topic, Bob. All right, let's see what Ray has for us now. Let me just stop the video here. Live stream, stop live stream. Thanks, Ray. I know Ray's away today, but thank you for doing that. I know that two iconic performers there today. Well done, Ray. Thanks so much for the information. All right, we are coming to our top of the hour, and we're going to open it up in a minute for Q&A. I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you to all the presenters who presented today, and I want to thank everybody and remind everyone that, of course, we have our Thursday show on Thursday. We'll be talking all about some exciting things happening in the news, and we'll be capturing those and talking about them this Thursday. As I mentioned before, don't forget our premiere version that's starting at 1/2 p.m. And let's get into the questions. I think Bob's got a question or a comment.
Yeah, I have a comment as far as AI and medicine. It also, part of what we've gotten used to after COVID was remote visits to your doctor, which still is a big thing today. But just like not using AI to diagnose, sometimes when you're doing a remote visit with your doctor can't really see you the way they do in person. I know from personal experience that when you do that kind of a visit, the doctor pretty much depends on your input. And sometimes you're not the doctor. I've done it myself where I thought it was one thing, and yeah, it sure sounded like it. And the information I gave the doctor kind of made him also lean toward that when it turned out to be something entirely different. So there's nothing better than visiting your doctor in person where they can actually look at you. Because if it isn't for a doctor looking at you, it's just not the same.
Bob, I couldn't agree with you more. When I make an appointment for my doctor, I always get the option, oh no, he'll just phone you or do a telehealth thing.
Nope.
I say, no. I want to come in and look at him, and I want to get an idea of what's going on. So I agree 100% with you. One of the problems, Bob, though, that I think is interesting and where it has changed a lot is telehealth for remote areas, people requiring specialists and they live in very remote areas. So telehealth has really changed a lot of what we do. But Bob, you're absolutely correct. I agree 100%. Huey, comment, question, anything?
And on Ray's choice, I have never been a follower of opera until quite recently. I've been helping somebody on a regular basis who does presentations on opera, and so I have to help her find the videos and edit some of them so they're shorter for her presentations. And I found that there's a lot of really good opera videos on YouTube, but the ones I enjoy working with are the ones that have subtitles that are in English at the bottom, because then I have a good understanding of what they're saying and doing, because I don't understand the story in some cases without it. But some of the voices on these opera presenters are just fantastic. And that was a good example of it in Ray's choice today.
And also, Huey, that was really to follow up with Chris did an excellent video on that. I think it was last week on captions, and how to do that. So new feature in YouTube that you can, you're right, you can easily get the English transcription of it. And Chris did an excellent video on that. So that's a good one as well. Jim, go ahead.
Well, I was back to telehealth stuff. And yeah, when we're on the ship, we expect to use some telehealth because we will be in remote areas for that. Hopefully, we won't be needing a specialist. And we still expect to come back for major, well, certainly anything major, but regular checkups. But we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
telehealth is something, if done in a proper, manner, as if it's not an emergency or something. But
Yeah. Yeah,
you
I
want to
think
get
I think it also depends on the attitude of your physician or the people looking
right.
after you, and what their attitude is in using it. And I think that's a big factor as well.
Yeah, well, our particular doctor, a woman, loves cruising, and she says, anytime you have a problem, just call me.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll come on board, my
yeah.
personal physician.
Yeah, she would also be a good one, Chris or Jim, to say, how'd you like to come for a week, and see how if you like it out here, and that'd be a smart play on your part.
I'm telling you.
It is, it would be. Bill, before you get to your question, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Can I ask you a question? All right.
Yeah.
So we have talked on our Thursday show a lot about Dell computers, and you know that they're making their big transition and they're relabeling their whole line. Their X Inspiration and their XPS is all going away, and they're going to be relabeling it with different things. I'm sort of sniffing around a new computer this year, and last night I was on Dell's website, right? Now Dell Canada's website, and I was looking at it, and I was really surprised because there was all these new chips we talk about, and we talk about a lot, Snapdragon chips, all the things that we've talked about, Huey and I and Bob and you and everyone have talked about for the last 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months. Nothing there. It's nothing. In fact, in the they still have the XPS line and the Inspiration line, and when I went and looked at the processors, they were strictly all Intel, same old thing, same old, except the i9s were all sold out. And, so yeah, the only option was an i7, but none of the new Snapdragon AMD, nothing there was there. And it's I found that very, very interesting. Now, maybe they're just waiting to make the change, but all the things we talk about, at least in the Dell line, which is what I usually buy, is not there. Do you find that interesting?
Well, the Intel ones with the AI capabilities are the Ultra chips. So if it's an Ultra chip, then you're in the
Yeah, they're right.
latest generations of those chips. And the Verizon, the AMDs were, I forget the brand now. So you have to look at how they're branded to determine which ones are capable of the AI function. But there's another part of this story which I didn't include is that a lot of the AI processing is being done on the server side. So it's kind of become, I think Bob might agree, it may be a mute point to have the latest and greatest processor in your computer.
I
Um,
right now operate resident AIs on my system. And when my provider went down, I was still able to use AI. And I do not have chips specific for AI. So it provided you have a decent enough computer, a recent computer, and you have good
well,
oh shoot.
I would think memory and
Right. Your RAM is good and you have a nice fast hard
process.
drive and you're on the latest operating system, you still can do an awful lot, even though you may not have a chip specific for AI.
And a lot to do is how intense the project you're working on as well. Because to render that for speed, I know I noticed as I was doing the video for this presentation, it went through several steps of processing before it actually rendered the final product. So there's some speed involved as well. But I
It
have
will be a little slower if you don't have the chips. The chip helps to make the processing part faster. If you don't have that chip, specific chip, then you can still do it, but you
just
sacrifice some time.
exactly.
At our age, we got lots of time, I hope.
And my comment was on the opera side. Today is Leontine Price's 98th birthday. She sung at the Met for a great many years, but today is her 98th birthday, so she's.
All right, Carl, go ahead. You have a question?
Okay. Yeah, last Monday I missed your Tech for Seniors, and based on your comments on AI presentation that you did the first of a series last Monday.
No, second. This is the third. So this is the third. So the series are all, if you look at today's video, you'll see the links to all the whole series in the description. And also we have in the newsletter, it's also in our newsletter as well.
Okay, yeah, because I want to start from the beginning and pass
I'll put
it
the
on.
playlist. Carl, I'll put the playlist in the chat, okay? And then it's got all, and just save the playlist, and as I add them onto the playlist, it'll all be there, okay?
Yeah, I think it's very timely, and later on make one for over 80 too.
Yeah. Well, I thought about that, but I thought, no. Well, I think we better limit it to 50.
I
So
think we got us covered.
I think you got it. Yeah. Anyway, so it should be fun. There's lots more coming. I have one. Episode 4 is done now. I'm just doing the final touches, and it'll be out this week. So we'll do that. Any other questions?
Murray has his hand up.
Oh, Murray, go ahead. Sorry. Murray, go
Unmute.
ahead. Can you unmute?
Well, while we're waiting for Murray, Bill's got
There
his
it
hand
is.
up.
I got
Oh, there it
unmuted,
is.
I think.
There he is.
Unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're doing some bet generator tests here, so I lost a lot. Bill James, I had two questions. First of all, you didn't mention anything about the Apple M2 chip. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I put something in the comment. I did answer your question. Apple's been rather slow to the party, in my opinion, but their latest iteration of their software, which I think is the iOS 18 for the phones and the tablets, the iPad, they introduced what they called Apple Intelligence within their software. For the Mac OS, it's 15, and they have included that. But the M chips are supposedly AI capable, and so you'll be fine in that regard. But a lot of the Apple products do not support the latest version of software. So that's where you're going to find the rub. So you'll end up getting a newer version of the hardware if you have to upgrade your hardware to support the new software. But the M series chips do support AI. I just didn't include those in that presentation.
Okay. Any other
And I
questions?
guess what I had my hand up for
Oh,
was
okay. Go ahead.
the whole purpose of that was, and Mary makes a good point. It really probably should have included the Apple products in there as well. But when you're out shopping for a new computer, you might want to take some of those things in consideration when you are buying a new computer, because you will find some of those things eventually will end up on the market. But like as Ron was looking at the Dells, the only way that you know that it's AI capable or has the additional processing power if you're using getting a Intel Ultra CPU.
And how did you do change your voice to that one that you used?
Oh, I use something that's called IO Video.
What is it called?
It's a software that's used to create the videos, and I do have a clone of my voice, but for some reason I can never get it's not the default for preparing the video. So I'm going to have to do more practice and see if I can get my clone voice back. But I do have a clone of my voice. I think I did give a presentation once using that software where I had my voice cloned, but
Yeah.
it's
Bill, you and I both gave a presentation, and we used NVIDIA, and we had our voices
Oh,
cloned.
that's not NVIDIA. That's expensive, I believe.
NVIDIA, yeah, and it is pretty darn cool. I mean,
Yeah, but it's very expensive, isn't it? It's really
it is
$100 a month or
expensive as
something.
heck. Yeah,
Yeah.
Murray, you're right. It's very expensive, but it is darn cool, right, Bill?
I really love using it, and
Yeah.
it's so much fun. But once I get my video all done, it's difficult to go back and change the voice.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why I didn't do it. And then
Yeah, you have to pretty much, you have to put the video, the
Okay.
voice in where your prompt is at the same time.
Right.
Cool.
Or they charge you tokens for that, and then you have to redo the whole thing, and then you use up more of your tokens.
Exactly.
Yeah. Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask Bill, related to the Chinese DeepSeek, where does that fit in with your great presentation?
Well,
That's AI itself. That's not a chip.
that's not a chip. It's a product.
That's like
Well-
ChatGPT or any of the other AI models themselves. It isn't.
Well, I got that, but I thought the attribute of their system is that they were using very low-cost chips for their AI system.
Ah,
But that's at their end. That's the server
Right.
side.
That's not at the computer's end. That's
Right.
at their end.
right.
Well, isn't a
And
chip?
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
well, yeah, a chip is a chip, but what they were saying, Carl, is that to use that particular software, it doesn't require a specialized chip. You can use what you currently have. As
It's supposed to be competitive, but of course, we don't know what the truth is anyways, you know.
Yeah, I saw something recently about that where supposedly they were saying there's an AI conference going on in Paris this week. I think it started today. And that particular software and OpenAI were both in the forefront, and I'm not sure what the repercussions of that conference is going to be. Maybe they're going to try to lock out that other, since it's Chinese, they're going to try to lock it out. I don't know, but there's an AI conference going on in Paris starting today.
Well, I was glad to hear that they tipped their hand in light of the fact that, Trump put together that team of building those huge AI chip farms in Texas and elsewhere. I'm sure they're on top of it, but it was interesting that they came out with the timing of their announcement right after the timing of our goal to be a leader in the AI hardware area.
Yeah,
The other one,
Bob G has tested running that DeepSeek on his regular computer, and one of the versions of it, he was able to do that. As he said earlier, that he lost internet connection, it still worked fine. So it does run on a regular computer, and that's where the lower limits are that you need to run it. But there are some versions of it that you can get that are going to require better chips.
but also
Is
here,
that their version of ChatGPT, basically?
well, no, just here, just mention, because you do this, you can do DeepSeek on Perplexity. So if you run Perplexity, then you can use a subset. You can choose the AI service you want, and so you can choose DeepSeek on Perplexity. Hugh, you've done that, right?
Yeah, but that's not running on your own machine. That's still running
That's
in
true.
the cloud.
That's
But
true.
what Bob, I believe, has done is he's actually downloaded the software
yeah, okay.
with the service.
I
Can
use a I use a program called LM Studio, which allows
Yeah.
me to import many different types of AI models. That was just one of them. I have 4 or 5 different. I can actually choose almost anything you can think of through that intermediary. And then I install it on my computer and it runs resident on the computer. As I said, it's not as fast as if you're doing it online, but when you have no internet, I can still do all of that stuff. The only thing I can't do is I can't upload the video I've created until I get my internet back. So I can do everything else. I don't need internet for it, but some things you can't upload if you don't have internet.
All right. We are out of time.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're out of time.
just one more thing, Bill. Just don't forget in your travels, Tensor. Tensor is made by Google. So don't forget Google's chip as well, right? Because that's the one that is going in all the Pixel phones, and they make their own chip, of course, which is the Tensor chip. Just like Apple makes their M chip, Google
And
makes Tensor. So
Snapdragon is the other one.
yeah, Snapdragon. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, anyway, everyone, well, we have to skedaddle. We'll see everyone again. Thank you for coming, by the way. Thanks everyone for their presentations, and we will see everyone on Thursday. Hopefully, come and listen to us on Thursday, and we'll be back here same time, same place next week. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.